Let's bring to the stage another one of our newcomer favorites around here. I think you guys are going to like him a bunch. Micah Jeffries.
Woo!
All right, I feel like I need to put this over here because Ty really gave it the business in his set. Right? Like, it's had its time. So I was driving home from Thanksgiving and I was on I-70 and I saw one of the MoDOT signs. Y'all know the MoDOT signs? They have like clever little ways of telling you to buckle up or don't text and drive, and some of them get really morbid with their statistics. You know, like these many people have died on Missouri roads, or these many people have died while not wearing seatbelts, these many people not wearing like hats, you know, things like that nature. And I saw one that was really fucking morbid, and it said, "Car crashes are the #1 killer of Missouri teens." And I was like, damn, that just like fucking hits you in the face. It's hard to see that, but as I was thinking about it, I'm like, how lucky are our teens, right? Like, they have the luxury of dying in car wrecks. They're not being sold into slavery or like any terrible thing. They're not having to outrun lions to get their gallon of water for the month. Like, how lucky are our fucking teens? Imagine our teens going to like an afterlife situation and meeting somebody from like Africa, and they eventually get talking about their deaths and how they got there. And the African kid's like, yeah, so I didn't have any food or water for an extended period of time, and then my body just kind of shut down. And the Missouri kid is like, yeah, well, I was out on Route H a couple days ago, and I hit this straightaway. I saw my buddy Ricky coming the other way, and we kind of like to play chicken when we saw each other, and he didn't pull off, and I didn't pull off, and I don't really know how you score chicken, but we're both here. I have a really weird thought process about death, and I think this stems from my childhood. Both of my parents are pastors, Methodist pastors. All right. My older brother is also a pastor, my only brother, and his wife is a pastor as well, and then you've got me. And I don't like to consider myself an atheist. I like to say that I am a hopeful agnostic. You know, I don't need there to be a God to like make sense of any of this. But if there is no God, then my parents, the people who gave me life, taught me right from wrong, all these life lessons, have basically wasted their lives. Like, they have done this for nothing. They've been staring at the sky, teaching other people to stare at the sky for nothing. And it's a hard concept for a child to understand. Like, imagine if your parent is a firefighter and that's what you know of them. They get dressed every day, they go off and they fight fires. And that's what you know of them. They come to your school, they teach you about fire safety, and then one day, as you get older, you realize that fire isn't real. It's not a thing. Like, and even weirder, even though there's all this science to disprove fire, your parents still fully believe in the fire. Like, they're putting on their masks, they're grabbing their axes, running into buildings, spraying them down, like teaching kids how to stay safe in the fire. They fully believe in this shit. And it's crazy to me. But my parents were pastors, and most people when they think of pastors, they only think of the Sunday morning gig, and there's a lot more to it. There is the pastoral care, which is basically you have to be a counselor to any motherfucker who walks in and tells you their problems. You have to go see people in nursing homes. You have to see people in hospitals, do weddings, and funerals. And just like any other parent, if you don't really have childcare, you take your kid with you, you hope they don't break anything. And so that's what happened with me. And so I got to go to funerals for people that I never met. And that's a hard concept for a child to understand. I like walking around as a child, talking to people like, hey, how's it going? Well, son, I just lost my husband. Do you need me to help you find him? No, son, I don't think you understand. He's passed on. Well, I have this truck. Do you want to help me play with this truck? Like, I really like this truck. Like, there's there's really no concept of what's going on. It just became another part of my parents' job. And so I've always made jokes to process death because I don't process death. It's just another thing that happens. Like, I don't realize that a family member is gone until they're not at Christmas. Like, that's just how it works. And so I make jokes to understand this, and sometimes I make jokes around people that I really ought not to. And this happened with my brother after my grandmother passed. My Nana, cute grandmother names. And my Nana passed, and a few months after she passed, we were walking through a grocery store, and walking down one of the aisles, I see this stuff on the side of the aisles, the stuff that really doesn't pertain to the rest of the aisles. It's just like chip clips and bullshit toys. And I see this product that's nowhere near the fruit, and it's for bananas, and it's for, if you only want to eat half of it, you clip this to the other end of the peel, and it keeps it fresher longer. And it was called the Nana Saver, and I was like, man, if we'd had this a couple months ago, right? That's all I got.
Micah Jeffries, folks. Let's keep it going.